Okay, let me see if I can get you the sunrise. I don't know if you can see it, but it's a beautiful Monday morning here in Varna. So let's talk about the ways in which you can improve and learn difficult things faster and in easier fashion. So what I want to say to you today is something that I've been trying to perfect myself, for the last maybe, I don't know, 10 years, ever since I started to compete more regularly in sports. Right now I'm 24, almost 25, and I started competing heavily. It's the lighting, yeah. I started competing regularly when I was 14, so about 10 years of trying to figure out how to learn difficult skills in the most efficient way. And today I want to share that with you. In I started training when I was 5, but most of those years you kind of don't know what you're doing. I mean, you're too young anyway. So over the past maybe 2-3 years, I really honed in on what you need to do. Almost make it an exact science, and it can never be 100%, but you know you can adjust it to your current situation, I hope. So there, in my opinion, one of the most important things you can do are these six, and I'll try to explain a bit more now. So for in my opinion, the first one is you have to seek out expertise, and by that I mean you need masters for the things you want to learn. So let's say you want to learn to play the guitar or piano, or in my case, right now I'm trying to learn jiu-jitsu. I'm a year and so in, and I got really lucky that locally in my town I have really good instructors, and what you need is to seek these people, whether it's online. I mean, nowadays it's easy to find instruction online, but you can never beat the one-on-one interaction, or you going into a group of people and learning live from a professor of something. So maybe you don't have it in your area, and if you really want to learn something that is difficult, you need people who have dedicated their lives to this difficult thing. That's why it's difficult. You need your whole life to be a master. So maybe you need to move locations, I don't know. So and another thing is just get in the habit of paying for this. It's not free, and it should not be free. It's valuable information that you don't know and you don't have, and if you want to have it, you need to learn to that this information is not free. And so number one, I think it's important that you find qualified people that can teach you. So don't hesitate to change schools, change academies. I've done that, and I've always tried to seek the best in the field, whatever I'm doing. So the next one is take your time. When you're learning something new, let's say you play the piano and you want to learn a new technique and moving your fingers on the keyboard. So you have your, you know, expert, your teacher, your mentor, and he shows you the new technique. What you need to do is slow it down, and this feels counterintuitive. You know, the title of this video is "Learn it faster" or "Learn it quicker." But when you slow down, take your time with actually learning the new thing you're learning. I mean, in my case, maybe a new technique, a new submission. You know, in jiu-jitsu we have so many positions that you have to take it slow and piece by piece try to emulate what your teacher is showing to you. But you need to do it slow at first because your brain doesn't know the new thing, and if you try to do it right away, full speed, you 99% of the time you see for yourself that you can't do it the correct way, and you want to do it correctly from step one. And in order to do it correctly, you need to do it slow because you don't know it. And in order for it to become muscle memory, you need to take it slow. Yeah, so the next thing is number 3. You may need a pen and paper for this, but the next one is be precise. So when I say be precise, I think it very well goes hand in hand with the last one, which was take your time. So you not only need to take the time, take it slow, do it the right way the first time, but you also need to be precise when you're practicing. So a lot of the time when I see people exercising, you know, trying to learn something, oftentimes they fall into what I call mindless practice, you know. And time goes on, and you know, you follow the last thing I said, which is take your time. Okay, but how much time? I mean, the point of taking the time is to take it in an efficient way. And, you know, you need it for a purpose, and that purpose is to learn it precisely, just exactly how you need it to do it. And so being able to go into the smallest detail that you can imagine, you know. In the past I teach kids how to learn how to fence, and so in the beginning we took every step to show them how to do it from the smallest detail, so that way they can build themselves up the correct way, you know. Not trying to show them full sequences, full attacks or full defenses. No, at the beginning we try to instill in them the most basic details, you know, the most simplest and the most basic things you can memorize from day one. And that way you build yourself up. You don't go full picture right away. You can't. It's too much information. You overload yourself, and soon you're like, man, this is boring, you know, what I'm doing, it's not for me, I'm never gonna learn it. No, just take small steps, but be precise when you're taking it. How are you taking it? So the next one is asking the right questions, or learning how to ask your questions the right way. So oftentimes when we finish our practice, we'll open the session to questions, and in that time it's very important for you to have prepared actual questions that can direct your coach or your teacher or your instructor into exactly what it is you want to learn, or exactly what it is your the problem that you're facing. So you need to take the time before or during or wherever, but you need to think about questions you want to ask. But these questions should not be broad. You should have been practicing before. You should have been thinking about your problem, what it is you want to learn, and try to come up with specific questions that will direct your coach into exactly what's your problem. And now imagine that every day you practice, you have one of those questions. Just one. I'm not saying do 5 or 10 questions, 10 specific questions, no. I mean, you're just starting out, so maybe each practice you have a specific question about a specific problem you encountered while trying to become better at the new thing. So imagine after a month you've answered yourself 30 important questions that you came up yourself and you experienced in your practice. So imagine a full year doing that. You're going to have so many answers, and not to mention if you write the answers down, which I also advise. Write the question, write the answer, and yeah. So that's number 4. Okay, so far we talked about taking the time to find a good teacher. Number 1. Number 2 is taking the time, slow it down at first. Don't rush. It's gonna happen. Third, be precise with your time. Not just spend your time. Don't waste your time. I mean, you take the time, but be precise with your time. And now the 4th thing is visualize. And visualize is something rather different than the first 3, because personally for me I use it outside of my practice, outside of my training session, in the morning when I get up, when I brush my teeth, before I go to bed, if I have something else I'm doing in the day. And what visualizing does is it plays the sequence in your mind over and over again. Let's say you're trying to become a salesman and you want to rehearse your presentation. Of course you should practice with people, and you should be making phone calls and trying to excel that way, but I'm pretty sure you can be doing calls all day or every day. And so while you're away, take the time to, I don't know, maybe close your eyes, go to the beach as I did. Find a quiet place and just go through the motions of you doing the thing it is you want to learn. It may be learning the song, imagining how you're singing, if you're a singer, I don't know, doing, the right techniques with your hands, with your legs. I remember before, when I was competing in modern pentathlon, I would use that for competitions, playing in my head the way that I will one day go to the starting block, jump off, swim, my turns, how my hands are going into the swimming pool. And this is very important. Nowadays I do it a bit differently. After I finish my session, I don't use any social media, I don't use my phone, I don't use the internet because it distracts you. I go home right away, or at least try to. Sometimes something occurs and I can't, but most of the time I go straight home, lay on the bed, and you only need like 2, 3, 5, maybe at the most 10 minutes. When it goes only in your brain, it happens way quicker, so you don't need that much time, But just close your eyes and let your mind just it drifts off by itself, and because you have compressed so much information in the session before, you automatically start replaying it in your mind. Do that every time and you will see such a big difference, because some people are students, some people have jobs, this busy lifestyle, stuck at work, and sometimes you don't have the ability to be at the gym, or sometimes you are forced to miss a day of training, and that's okay. You can really, not 100%, but you can replace a lot by visualizing. And of course, if you train and visualize, it's better. But a good substitute for having to miss a training session is visualizing, for sure. So we talked about having a good coach, taking the time, being precise with your practice, asking the right questions, visualizing. That's fact. So the sixth and last one is find like-minded people. If you want to become good at something, you need to surround yourself with people that want to become good at something. And if it's the same thing as you, that's even better. But at least they should be trying to become good at something, because it's contagious. If you are alone, you're trying to make it alone. I've tried it and it doesn't work, trust me. But now imagine being a group of 10 guys that think the same way as you, want to become successful, want to learn something that is truly difficult, and you have them at your disposal, sharing ideas, giving your output, correcting their mistakes, they correct your mistakes. Together you go to your teacher with a unique problem that you imagine 10 guys trying to work out a problem and they can't figure out the solution. That's gotta be, at the very least, a good problem, that your teacher will help you with. So, yeah, and finding a valuable network that can amplify your progress is something that I really emphasize a lot, and it's number 6 on my list, but it's definitely not the last, last but not least. And speaking of finding networks, let me, before I go, quickly share with you the network that I recently joined. While I try to make the best light. Okay, that's nice. So it's called Hustlers University, and it's an online platform that I joined about a month ago. And let me tell you, it's so worth it. I mean, of course it's not free. Like I said, if you want something valuable, if you want valuable information, you shouldn't expect it to be free. But it's very cheap. It's like $50 a month. And inside, it's an online platform that teaches you to make money, how to make money, and a lot of modern ways. I think it's 18, maybe more, modern ways to make money through internet, and not only, but mostly online. We have freelancing stuff, crypto, and finance, real estate. And what I like about the platform is that in each section, depending, whichever course you like to take, there's always at least one very qualified we call them professors, you know, this is a university, but they are successful people that have already made their, you know, their money, and they've succeeded in the field, and they just pass down the knowledge that they accumulated over the years, you know, succeeding in the thing that they succeeded. So, and talking about network, it's like, I think now they are almost at 10,000 students. I mean, I'm one of them, so I enjoy very much that. Right now I'm doing the copywriting course, and I'm practicing every day, trying to write, and it's very hard. I mean, and it should be hard, because it's something that after time can bring you a lot of money, so you should expect it to be hard. You know, nothing that is good in life is easy. If you want to achieve something that is good, if you want to excel, you need to be doing difficult things. And I like that. As soon as because if I'm gonna put a link in the description that you can use if you want to join, and if you join, it gives you access to a Discord. And so in Discord we have different channels. So right now, when I'm in the copywriting channel, as soon as I post, you know, something I worked on, like in 5 minutes, there's at least one other guy like me that goes in, writes a review, you know, shares his thoughts, gives feedback. And there are always people that are better than me, that are here longer than me and know more, and they are always willing to help me. So only that, you know, and so many materials, videos. The professor are always in the chats, always typing. You can always get in touch with all the professors, you know. It's very good. And by that alone, for me personally, I don't know for you, but for me, $50 is well good. I mean, not well good, but money well spent, you know. For me it's worth it, because just the amount of things that I learned about money and how money works, and not just even money, but motivation stuff, and different protocols you need to follow to optimize your daily routines to be more productive. It's almost, you know, like a scam. Like, $50, but okay, if you think it's a scam, just try it, and after the first month, if you don't like it, you'll just cancel your subscription. I mean, there's so many courses that are in the thousands, and they teach the same, if not less. I mean, trust me, it's... But enough for this. If you like this video, write me a comment and tell me how you find the things that I talked about today. And yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.